Hello, another talk, another decoding of the matrix, another opinion. It's straight off the dome, it's unscripted. I don't like any of this editing and this flashy stuff that people do with these talks. It's not human, it's dehumanized in my eyes. So I want it to be pure, I want it to be authentic, I want it to be real. So these are monologues. These talks are me putting my opinion out there from my own experience. Now, today's topic is vitally important for all men out there, but this also applies to women. But I want to get it out there. You might know this, you might not, but for me it's rudimentary, it's a must. It is absolutely vital, and that is solitude. Solitude is so important for men to grow and to progress. Same for women as well, because solitude for me is where you get independence. It's where you get comfort with yourself. It's where you do projects, it's where you focus, it's where you think, it's where you get things done, it's where you think of ideas. It is so important to gain mastery over solitude. Now, we live in a culture and a narrative that is very, very encouraging of extroversion, entertainment. It has a whole myriad of distractions to convince you to get involved with other people. Go and watch the game, go to the cinema, go and have some beers with friends. Become hedonistic. You know the score, it's all out there. It all involves people. And that is very important. I'm very gregarious. I like to be out with people. I am a socialite. Believe you me, I am the person who will be at the party. I will be the most jovial. I will be the most extrovert. A bit of a lad, a bit of a boy. I'm very boisterous. In these talks, you probably get a sense that I'm a bit earnest and serious because I'm doing these talks. But, you know, when I'm out, I'm out. I can have some drinks and have some fun, and I'm very, very sociable. But I understand the power of being introverted. Because where introversion is, and solitude is, and introspection, this is where you can grow. Because you have to be able to go into a space and be with yourself. There is an art to it. There is a dexterity to it, which has to be learnt. And if you find it difficult, you need to work with it. Believe you me, you need to work with it. You need to be with yourself, because you have to learn to be comfortable with yourself, at ease with yourself, and it's good in many ways. One of the main reasons for me it's powerful, it's because it's where I get things done. It's how I've built all my projects up. It's how I've made myself into a successful man, because I've inculcated and normalized behaviors of solitude from when I was very, very young. It is rendered into my psyche. It's part of me. I can be on my own for days, weeks, if necessary. If I had to, I could do it for years, because my mind has been trained to be able to be with myself. I'm very comfortable with myself. I'm very comfortable in my own space. And that's because I have a good dialogue with myself, which is the good self-talk, which I've done in another discussion, positive self-talk. So I have a good dialogue with myself. I appreciate who I am. I have gratitude for who I am. And I don't need to be distracted by other people. I can go into that world easily, and I'm very, very sociable. I'm very extrovert as well. But I've mastered solitude, solace, serenity, being in a room on my own. And in that room, I will plan, I will construct, I will manifest, I will build things, make things, think of ideas. All the stuff I've done in my life has been done from the platform of solitude. That's my base. That's where I work from. So when I was trying to be a pro footballer, all the skills that I learned were not with other people around. I went to a field on my own in solitude, and I trained alone. I exercised alone. This all started from the age of 7, roughly. And it's been transposed into other things that I do now. Most of the stuff I do, 90% of it, is done in a room on my own. I will write, I will think of ideas, I will do a whole plethora of stuff on my own, including my workouts. So, men have to grasp this. They have to stop listening to the fucking Matrix with all its erroneous, fictitious bullshit and all its distractions about going out and partying, being around people, got to be around people, got to be gregarious. That can be your enemy in some respects. Other people can get in the way because they will distract you. Understand that. Know there's a time and a place for socialising. Know when to do it. Make space for socialising. I'm all up for that. And I can do other talks about that, how important socialising is and other people are. And I will do another talk about that. But this one is about you at least attempting to gain mastery over solitude. At least practice it. Because when you're in solitude, you are with yourself and you learn to accept yourself, be with yourself. I'm not saying when you're in solitude, you have to be meditating, sitting there, not doing something, you're just in this state of unthinking. Because that's essentially when you're meditating, you're not having thoughts, essentially. You're going into a meditative state. I'm not saying you have to do that. You don't have to have a monastic lifestyle. I'm saying when you're on your own, give yourself things to do. Give yourself tasks. If you want to do some writing, you're writing a book or something, I don't know, do the writing. If you're doing music, do the music. If you've got a business plan, do the business plan. If you want to do the exercise routine, do the exercise routine in solitude. If you want to work on your social media for your whatever, there's lots of things you can do in solitude. So my first thing I would say is find things to do when you're in solitude. Don't just sit there like a monk, because this is where people get it wrong. Is they think they've got to sit there and be all spiritual and zen. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm saying it seems to put a lot of people off. I'm saying use solitude as your ally for progress, for developing yourself, developing a plan, a project. It could be anything. You have to work out what it is. And that's why men and women need a purpose and passion. And I would also do another talk about that. But if you look at the people in history, there's many people from, Einstein, Darwin, the philosopher Nietzsche, Isaac Newton, and then sports people like Michael Jordan, Ronaldo, Maradona, and then you've got writers, philosophers, politicians, entrepreneurs. You've got music artists, actors. You can do a whole list of names. And all these men and women would have done a lot of what they've done in solitude. They would have come out with their ideas in solitude. They would have trained and practiced in solitude. The reason why they've progressed so much, these people, is because they got used to being with themselves. But just being in a room on their own. Or if they're a sports person, they're just in a field on their own, or on a basketball court on their own. That's how you get ahead. That's how you get that little edge on everyone else. It's because you've mastered it. You've mastered the ability to be independent. You don't need other people to facilitate you at that time, to aid you on your journey. You will need other people at some point on your journey. Maybe you're practicing on your own and you're in a team sport. Or maybe you're writing that book and you need a publisher. Or you're a musician and you need other musicians and a record label. I get it, you will need other people. But a lot of the meat and bones of men's progress and development and evolution is through being on their own. It is so powerful. So what I would say to you is try to find space. If you're in a 9-to-5 job, you've got a rigorous weekly schedule which is jam-packed. I get it. You've got a family. I get it. You've got a demanding girlfriend. You know, there's lots of things. There's lots of possibilities of what can take your time and not give you that space and time for yourself. But just try. You have to start trying to implement it. Try to implement it into the evenings, if you're working, weekends, whenever you can find a spot for some space for yourself, try and find it. This will be a game changer. For me, it's another Mantrix hack. It's something which needs to be decoded. I've heard a few people mention it before, and it's something I have been practicing righteously all of my life. Why I'm so happy, why I'm so confident and content, and why I've made so much progress in my life is because I've learnt to do it all in my own space. There's been no distractions. I haven't needed anyone else around me. And I still do that now. I'm doing this talk now in solitude. Like, how could I do all the things that I've done if there's just people around me all the time? Yes, you can do a lot of things with people around you. But just look out there. Look out there in the world. Get lists of people in your mind. People who have done great things. People that you have a reverence for. People that you revere, you admire. You have admiration for them. Maybe it's a sports person, maybe it's a musician, maybe it's a writer, philosopher, politician. And just try and find out about those people, their route, their path, their way of living. I guarantee you will find 99% of these people, I guarantee if you do research on them, you will find that they spent a lot of time on their own. So that's my message. I hope it helps. I will do more talks on other subjects regarding this. I can go deeper into the rabbit hole, make it more explicit, make it more detailed, but I hope it helps. Okay, cheers, goodbye.